Voila.
Hey,
And
I
here
feel like we should
are.
have played a couch gag to come into this.
That would have been nice.
We tried filming one, but none of us could show up at the same time, as it happens. How's everyone doing?
Excellent. I'm sorry. Excellent.
There you go.
Because we finally get to talk about a topic that I like.
This isn't chick flicks trivia.
It is not.
Produces a pop culture podcast, can only talk about one thing in pop culture.
We never talk about this. Never mind. Not worth it. Not worth it.
Choose your battles. Choose your battles.
So I think I'll mention real quick for people that are new to this trivia. I was throwing out feelers to a bunch of Simpsons groups and Reddits and Facebook groups and things like that. So if you're new to this channel and trivia nights, basically what we do is every other Thursday we host either a movie or TV trivia, and there's certain editions. So 2 weeks ago we did horror movies. We're going to be doing Marvel movies. So there's always a different theme. This week, obviously, we have the Simpsons trivia. So that's kind of just some background for everyone new that's going to be playing.
We're happy to have you if you're new here. We'll walk you through how we play the game. 4 rounds and a lot of fun. So
we'll give it a minute to let more people join in. And I will go on mute because my baby's screaming.
I was going to say, describe to me what's happening in your house right now. But yeah, Nolan's having a rough night. That's okay.
Nolan can't get that answer sheet up. He's a little concerned. He's ready to play.
Man, he's trying to run it on Internet Explorer. I don't know what he expected.
He said the Wi-Fi is shit, Mark.
Yeah, you got to work on that, dude. That's child abuse.
He is not happy right now. It happens.
All right. So, guys, the link to the Trivia Night website is in the chat. Make sure that you head there and at least grab the first round answer sheet. You'll see a link to it there. Recommend opening all of them if you're playing on your computer or iPad or whatever, just so it's easier for you to go back on. But we will use a different form for each round, and we'll walk through some of the details in just a minute.
Mark, how long has it been since you've seen an episode of The Simpsons?
Ooh, honestly, it's been like 5 years. It's been a while.
Wow.
It's been because I didn't get into The Simpsons after like season 12. I kind of just fell off with that. I know how many seasons are out right now? 30 plus
32, yeah. 33.
Yeah. So yeah, after like season 12, I fell off, but I used to for Christmas growing up. I would always ask for the new Simpsons box set, the DVDs, because those are really cool to collect. So I had probably seasons 1 up until like 10. But yeah, that's the majority of my Simpsons knowledge is within that time frame of seasons.
So a little behind the curtain on this. If you're not familiar with the website frankiac.com, that's like Professor Frank with an IAC on the end. Basically, it is a still by still through every single episode with subtitles and everything. You can export them into GIFs. You can pull some of the just plain stills. And basically what I did is there's a random button on there. And I just kept hitting random, and I would see a quote that would spark some memory of a dumb Simpsons anecdote, and that's how we ended up with 40 questions on The Simpsons.
I hope a lot of these stump some of the Simpsons connoisseurs out there.
Fair warning, I didn't go easy on this. There's a couple softballs in there, but you got to be able to dig deep on The Simpsons for this. And it is mostly the first 15 seasons. So,
woof. I do remember, like in middle school and stuff, when the episode guides came out. That was like such a big deal. Everyone had them, and everyone was obsessed with them. At least the first big thick one they had out. But should be interesting because I think my knowledge of The Simpsons ends right around where Mark's does. So
that's all right.
Weasel in the chat is saying there's a bot on Discord that will provide a Simpsons related GIF if you give a phrase. That's pretty cool. We both have Discord channels, the Chumpcast and Guy at the Movies, so we might have to implement that.
Yeah, and I'm admin in ours, so that's absolutely happening.
Should we start with the rules?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get rolling. All right, guys, going to walk through this real quick. Fill out an answer form, one per team for each round, and submit at the end. That's available in the chat. You'll find the 4 links to the 4 rounds there. You can play solo or you can play as a team. There's ultimately no limit to the number of people that are on your team, but please know that only one set of prizes will be given to a team who wins. So you have to divvy it up however you wish. There's absolutely no cheating permitted. Obviously, we can't be there and see what you're doing, but we're going on, the honor system here. And if we suspect that you're cheating, we will launch a very thorough investigation to figure it out. There'll be 20 seconds between each question or between questions in each round. The questions will be repeated once. Each question is worth 1 point unless otherwise noted. I believe each question tonight is just 1 point, Smithers, right?
Correct. I didn't want to make that absolute hell on you.
Appreciate that. Following each round, you'll have 30 seconds to answer the questions and submit your form. We will give you a rundown of all the questions once again real quick in case you missed one, but that won't be up long, so make sure that you are paying attention as we go through them. Scores will be updated and announced at the end of each round. Obviously, the team at the end of the night with the most points wins, and in the case of a tie, we'll have a tiebreaker question. Last week's winner will not be eligible to win this week and will be scored separately. I don't think that is an issue this week. We also did take 3 weeks off, and we are tackling television for the first time as a trivia night. So I think we are in good shape in that area. Prize of the evening is going to be a Duffman Funko and a party game against Simpsons.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty solid, I think. Pretty solid.
We're just going to go ahead and order 2 of those Duffman Funko Pops, and one of them is going to come to my house.
It is pretty cool. I like that a lot.
I assume the game against Simpsons is Cards Against Humanity, where it's just all going to be Simpsons related, and whoever has the funniest phrase or something is the winner. Same thing, kind of.
I believe so. I think Smithers is going to make us play it on like a live stream or something in the next couple.
You guys already told me you don't know any of this stuff, so
it looks fun though.
I don't want to play with you. I want to play with people who know.
I don't want to play with you. Probably makes sense. It'd probably be very boring for you with our pedestrian knowledge of what's going on.
You could have stopped at pedestrian knowledge, but we're good.
All right. Are we ready to dive in?
Let's do it. All right. So round 1 is just general knowledge about mostly people in Springfield. So let's get that kicked off.
All right.
I need you to name the 2 aliens that visit Springfield regularly, usually right around Halloween, maybe around a Treehouse of Horror episode. At one point, one of them was revealed to be Maggie's father. Question number 2. Later in season 11, the Simpsons used nuclear waste to grow crops on their infertile farm. What mutant crop did they produce? It sounded horrible, by the way. Question number 3. What is the secret ingredient in a flaming Moe? I've been to Universal Studios down in Florida, and I went to Moe's Tavern. It's amazing.
How much did you pay for a beer there? Like $32.
Dude, if you go to Disney or Universal, you don't count the money. You just hand them the card and say, whatever, I'll deal with it.
So true.
All right, question number 4. In season 3, Krusty the Clown is reunited with his estranged father. What was his father's occupation?
It's funny how that's all changed down there now, too. It's like, I'm going to get a beer at Moe's. I'm going to get, alcoholic butterbeer at Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be like hammered by the end of the night.
I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but... Question number 5. What is Nelson Muntz's middle name? It is the opposite of apropos, but give me Nelson Muntz's middle name.
And if you guys are experiencing any issues with submitting or the form in general, the submission form, just let us know in the chat. But we're going to assume everything's running smoothly if you don't tell us.
All right, question number 6. Homer Simpson has been to space. He won a Grammy. In season 5, he tells the story of winning a Grammy with his barbershop quartet. What do they call themselves? Has to be catchy like the Beatles. Question number 7. It's very hard for me to not sing this one. But when Homer was 17, he drank some very good beer. He drank some very good beer that he purchased with a fake ID. His name was what? Question number 8. Joe, I picked this question for you, Mr. Hockey Guy, because I was like, I got to get his attention somehow. In season 3 again, Bart catfishes his teacher, Edna Krabappel, using the picture of an all-time great NHL player. Who was that hockey player?
Oof. There we go.
Question number 9. Sideshow Bob, around probably the 3rd or 4th time he tried to kill Bart, once sent the Simpsons into protective custody. What was the surname that they used while they were in hiding that Homer could never remember to answer to? And finally, question number 10. Springfield's resident action hero, Rainier Wolfcastle, is famous for playing this recurring character in his renowned action films. Have either of you seen the supercut of these that actually, like, if you do it chronologically, tells basically a full story?
No,
I have not.
No,
only you would know that.
Yeah. No,
Didn't know
lots
it
of people
existed.
know that.
That's a cool guys.
So many people know it.
Here's a recap of your questions if you missed one. Give you a little bit of time to catch up there.
Weasel in the chat said it's lagging on my TV. Unfortunately, I think that might be your internet. I'm watching on a YouTube channel right now, and it looks okay. So hopefully it picks back up for you. If you need us to repeat a question for you, just let us know.
All right, get those answer sheets in. I see a few already, which is great.
That was the easy round. I feel like they get harder from here.
Oh, boy. That's not good.
Would you break?
Huh?
Just curious, everyone that submitted some answers for round 1, go ahead and in the chat, if you can, just post your team name for us. That will just help us confirm that we are counting up your answers in your submissions. So
I'll tell you now, we are at 6 participants so far.
6 teams. All right.
I'm actually kind of anxious to see if anybody can get all 40. I would be very impressed, or I might think you're cheating, depending on how sarcastic you were to my accusation.
That has yet to happen in any of our trivias, but this might be the one because
I doubt somebody's going to go 100% on this.
I don't know. I see some references in the chat that might lead me to believe there's some Simpsons knowledge out there.
All right, here are some of the team names, Joe. The STS guys, Super Nintendo's Nuts Chalmers. Who shot who in the what now? Team Discovery Channel.
Simpsons
the
reference.
Goggles Do Nothing.
Simpsons reference.
And yeah, I think that's it. Weasel, what's your team name? Is it Weasel, maybe? Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yep, that's what I got.
Goggles do
Cool.
nothing.
Okay, so I think we're good. All right, who's your favorite background character in Springfield? What defines a background character? Can I do like
I would say
Bleeding Gums?
Yeah,
Murphy.
absolutely.
Okay, that counts. All right.
Yeah, I guess anybody who's not in the family, or probably not one of the. I guess the Flanders too. I think Ned is hilarious. just because it's kind of this feigned innocence, but it's really not. Like, he knows more than he lets on, and it's subtle but hilarious to me. But
he
also
knows when he can be sexy skiing down that mountain in that tight
stupid
suit.
sexy Flanders. Snake is hilarious. Oh no.
I would have to go with Groundskeeper Willie.
Excellent choice.
Some of my favorite episodes have been with him in it. And in the chat, we have Weasel says Dr. Nick.
Hi,
he's the hi everybody guy.
You know, damn it. That's a question later. That's fine. So if you're paying attention, there you go. Disco Stew is a great one.
Classic.
Disco Stew doesn't advertise. Groundskeeper Willie, I feel like you only like him just because he's super jacked.
Oh, I actually forgot about that. What was that? What happened in that episode where he was just like, he just ripped out of his shirt? He was just going, he was raging, right? He was pissed
he does that a lot, actually.
Does he? Okay.
The episode you're probably thinking of is when Homer and Bart try to build Homer's retirement fund by selling used grease.
Okay, yeah.
And they go to the school because obviously they have a huge backlog of grease because it's gross. And that's Willie's retirement grease. You can't take that. So he just immediately just rips his shirt off and greases himself up and goes in the vents after Homer and Bart.
Brian Rivera says Troy McClure. I'm Troy McClure.
It's tragic that Phil Hartman is no longer with us. And the story I won't repeat, but it's very sad. But he was just a comedic genius. He never did anything that wasn't funny. I love the man. Every time I see one of his characters, Lionel Hutz, it's, I just miss it.
I'm trying to think of, there was this PC game I used to always play growing up, and Troy McClure would always pop into the screen. I don't know if it was like a game show or.
I'm Troy McClure.
I feel like there were so many different like PC and video games that came out for Simpsons within the first, classic 10 seasons.
All right, so this is going to be really interesting tonight, just so you know.
Awesome.
May or may not have had a perfect score that round, but we'll walk through them.
Okay.
All right. Name the two aliens that regularly visit Springfield, normally during Treehouse of Horror episodes. That's Kang and Kodos. In season 11, the Simpsons use nuclear waste to grow crops on their infertile farm. What mutant crop did they produce? Tamaco. What is the secret agent or secret ingredient in Flaming Moe? Krusty brand cough syrup, or just cough syrup we took. In season 3, Krusty the Clown reunites with his estranged father. What is his father's occupation? He's a rabbi. What is Nelson Muntz' middle name? Mandela. In season 5, Homer tells the story of winning a Grammy with his barbershop quartet. What did they call themselves? The B Sharps. When Homer was 17, he drank some very good beer that he purchased with a fake ID. What was the name on the ID? Brian McGee. What's the song?
That's when I was 17. I drank some very good beer. I drank some very good. I'll stop. But
that might have been the first time Smithers has ever sung.
I also just marked that time code for a future ad. In season 3, Bart catfishes his father and his father. Jesus Christ, I'm so tired. His teacher, Edna Krabappel, using the picture of an all-time great NHL player. Who was it? Gordie Howe. Shout out to the person that put Brian Holtby, or Braden Holtby, I should say, who was not around in season 3. Sideshow Bob once sent the Simpsons into protective custody. What was the surname they used while in hiding? That was the Thompsons. And Springfield's resident action hero, Rainier Wolfcastle, is famous for playing this recurring character, McBain. All right. Here's where we stand. In third place with 7 points, Weasel. Tied for second place, four-way tie.
Wow.
With 9 points the STS guys, Who Shot Who in the What Now, the Team Discovery Channel, and Super Nintendo's Nuts Chalmers. And in first place with 10 points, perfect score, the goggles do nothing.
Hell yes.
That is impressive. That is very close, and that is awesome. All right.
See, The Simpsons is ubiquitous. Everybody knows it.
All right. Ready to go, Mark.
Yeah, I'm going to be very monotone reading these. I usually do a Heath Ledger Joker impression whenever I read the quotes, just to not give it away. But yeah, I need to focus on not screwing these up so Smithers doesn't yell at me.
Well, I won't yell at you, but it's probably a lot easier if I do them because I'll do them in the voices, and also nobody wants to hear that.
So you're saying I should do them?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, I'm going to do them then.
All right, guys, make sure that you have the second answer form up. It's on the website, round 2 movie quotes.
And this is who said the quote, obviously, right?
Correct.
What character?
The character. We need the character who said this quote.
And before we start, make sure you are in the round 2 submission form. If you go to the guy at the movies / trivia - night, there's going to be a round 2 submission form button. Just make sure you're in there.
All right.
Do it. Hey, Brandine. I think I done busted my stink bone.
I hate you so much. You are the worst.
This is what I'm talking about.
What was wrong there?
Do you think someone who calls something a stink bone would speak that way?
Well, what do you want me to do? I literally told you this. All
okay, you know what? I'm just going to...
Hi, everybody. Shoot away. You don't know this one. Come on. Hi, everybody. Is that a good impression?
The first one was. The second one just went a little haywire.
First one's better.
The first version of this one.
If it's clear and yellow, you've got juice there, fella. If it's tangy and brown, you're in cider town.
Question 1, I'm not going to do the Heath Ledger voice. Question 2, I'm going to give it away. Question 3, we're back to Heath Ledger.
That wasn't my Heath Ledger voice.
It was close.
No, that was like a hybrid.
You only have like 3 voices.
Yeah. I'll do Morgan Freeman right now. Sweetie, you seem so blue. Did the last of something die? Did the last of something die? It's a question.
I feel like even when Morgan Freeman is asking a question, he doesn't have an upward inflection. He's like, did something die?
I knew Andy Dufresne. All right. Here's the 411, folks. Say some gangsters dissing your fly girl. You just give them one of these. I see that's not Duff beer, Smithers. What's going on there?
My koozies in the other room. Also, Duff beer is just an energy drink when you get it there. Well, no.
Oh, don't you worry.
No,
most of you will never.
It's real beer when you're there, but you can only get it like
trying to read the
as
quote.
Energy drink here. Anyway, shut up.
Hey, Smithers, we're playing trivia.
Who is?
Oh, don't you worry. Most of you will never fall in love and marry out of fear of dying alone. How much do you think a beer company would have to pay to be able? They would have to pay Disney. Disney has Simpsons, right? They would have to pay Disney to get the Duff logo on their beer. They'd probably have to pay a shit ton to be able to do that.
Yes.
Like Duff Light by Busch Light. Honey, you should have seen me with my last customer. No, but I came so close. This guy was... Whose voice is that? Is that Fred? Aw, you said it was over. No, don't put him on. Hello, Fred. Hi. I don't know. I'm surprised I actually read that well.
You did not stumble at all. I'm very proud of you.
That was a hard one. You may remember me from such medical films as Alice Doesn't Live Anymore and Mommy. What's wrong with that man's face? Okay, it was continuing the movies. All right, I kind of screwed that up.
No,
I think I know this one. Me fail English? That's impossible.
I'm mad at myself now. I should have made these harder.
I'm going to look at the answers because I think I know this one, but I could be wrong.
This one I know.
I feel like it's too obvious, but is it obvious? Yep, I got it wrong. I saw this in a movie about a bus that had to speed around a city, keeping its speed over 50. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
It's a brilliant quote.
Matt the Beard Man joined. Man, he's just joining now. He had a track meet, so he had to miss.
Didn't he say he
Matt.
wasn't a big Simpsons fan?
I think he did. He said he was going to have to like study up or something.
Thanks for joining, though, Matt. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Matt.
All right, players. If you missed a question, here's your chance.
All right, players. All right. See that there's answer sheets rolling in.
Hey, Brandy.
All right. I'll be right back.
All right, Mark, you have to talk about The Simpsons now.
Smithers, what is your all-time favorite Simpsons episode?
Usually it's just the last time, the last episode I saw of season 8. That's just how it falls, because that's the best season of all time. And I'm a sucker for those. Like every time I see one again, it just like, I'm like, no, that's the best episode. Frank Grimes episode is an all-time great. I had to slide in Tamako because that's just it. The entire premise is hilarious. And at one point there's a tractor that's just, it doesn't run or anything, and it just randomly attacks and lands on top of Homer. And it's just this running gag that gets funnier every time it happens.
What is the episode where this was one of my favorites? I don't know if it's like a top favorite for all the big Simpsons people, but the one where Homer was a boxer and they would just keep punching him until they got exhausted and lost.
Until he fought Dredrick Tatum.
Is that considered like a top Simpsons episode, or is that kind of an oddball
I
out?
think so. I think that episode is great for me because it gives you a little bit of depth to the character of Mo Sizlak. Mo Sizlak is a great character. He's probably up there in my favorite background characters, but he's such a dirtbag. But it's at certain points, he just has these redeeming moments. Like when he pulls Homer out of that fight, when Dredrick Tatum's about to kill him. And he goes on humanitarian missions afterwards, after he's like steals that giant fan with a parachute on it. God, it's so stupid when I talk about it.
Weasel in the chat says Gone Maggie Gone is my favorite modern episode. What is that about?
Okay, so if I get the premise, head to Frankiac. 20th season. Okay, not as familiar with these, but
20th season.
Oh, okay. This is the one where there's a solar eclipse, and one of the kids like smashes, those things that you used to make in like elementary school. There was cardboard, so you wouldn't burn your retinas when you looked.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right word for it, but sure. Anyways, one of the kids like smashes theirs, so obviously Marge, being the saint that she is, hands hers to the kid, and then everybody's so in awe by the eclipse that's going on that she just can't help herself, and she has to look, and she looks up, and she burns her retinas, and like she can't see for the whole episode.
Huh. Weasel says Maggie gets abducted by nuns. Does that happen in the episode?
Yes.
Or are you thinking of a different episode? Okay.
No, but the whole thing is like they basically have to take Marge out of that episode because Marge would never let that happen. So you have to find a way to incapacitate her. Like she goes on vacation or something, which she's done in the past. But in this case, it was like, oh, she's going to be blind this week.
I will say you're going to disagree with me because I'm sure you could think of multiple different Simpsons, entertainment that have come out. But I think the greatest arcade game for pizza parties with your friends has to be the Simpsons arcade game. Probably the greatest.
I regularly look on eBay to see where I can find one. They've got a run rate of like $3,000, but I feel like that would be the ultimate decoration for my basement. And actually, there's a barcade down the street, Lizzie's, and they have it there, and they have it like unlocked, so you don't have to keep feeding it quarters. It's a cool bar. You went there with me once, didn't you, Mark?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is the weekend for it, right? If you're going to pull the trigger on it, you're alone at home. It's time to drink some bush. And
I only got one shot, so I got to wait for the second one first.
All right, here we go. Just going to throw it out there that Smithers, you might need to decide on a tiebreaker question.
Okay.
Just a heads up, but we're not there yet.
Cool.
All right, here's where we are.
Oh, shit. No, I'm nervous. I got to think about that.
Quote 1, hey, Brandine, I think I done busted my stink bone. That's Cletus Spuckler, or Cletus. Hi, everybody. Dr. Nick Rivera, or Nick. Dr. Nick, I mean. If it's clear and yellow, you've got juice there, fella. If it's tangy and brown, you're in Cider Town. Ned Flanders. Sweetie, you seem so blue. Did the last of something die? That's Marge. All right, here's the 411, folks. Say some gangsta is dissing your flag roll. You just give him one of these. I remember this, actually, now that I just said that out loud. That's Mo. Oh, don't you worry. Most of you will never fall in love and marry out of fear of dying alone. Edna Crabapple. She's actually one of my favorite background characters. She's such a bitch.
They're all so good.
They are good. Honey, you should have seen me with my last customer. No, but I came so close. This guy that was old Gil Gunderson. You may remember me from such medical films as Alice Doesn't Live Anymore and Mommy, What's Wrong with That Man's Face? Troy McClure. Me Found English, That's Impossible, Ralph Wiggum. And I saw this in a movie about a bus that had to speed around a city, keeping its speed over 50. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. That was a Homer. So after that round, in fourth place with 12 points, Weasel. In third place with 17 points, Super Nintendo D's Nuts Chalmers. Three-way tie for second place is going to be Team Discovery Channel, Who Shot Who in the What Now, and the STS guys, each with 19 points. And then the Goggles Do Nothing, continuing a perfect score with 20 points.
Hell yeah.
So, rolling along. All right, guys, make sure you pull that third trivia answer sheet. Round 3.
All right, so the idea here is that we've got characters that were voiced by special guests, all of them A-list celebrities, and we're going to show you a picture of the character, and I need you to tell me which celebrity voiced that character. This was very fun for me to put together. I didn't have to do any Googling here. All right. So new girl comes to town, convinces all of Lisa's friends to get their ears pierced, and her name was Alex, and this was actually the Grease episode, I think. The Willie Grease retirement Grease. Anyways,
I'm sure
I'm really happy that we could give you this experience, Smithers. I feel like
this is the most fun I've had
for you.
All right. If you've seen any of our other trivias, I think this one will be fairly obvious. We're looking for the adult displayed in this picture. His name was Cooter. He was a carny, and he hoodwinked the Simpsons out of their own home using a glass-bottom boat ride ticket. Remember, we need the voice of the person who played that character. That is not Homer Simpson with hair. That is his long-lost brother, Herb Powell. Also a favorite actor of mine, who I will cast in literally anything. Another all-time episode, obviously the Stonecutters episode. We don't know his real name. He only went by number 1. I could do the whole Stonecutters song too, but I won't.
We can pause.
Nobody wants to hear that. If I was a better singer, I totally would. All right, so this is we're obviously looking for Homer's mother, Mona Simpson here. I need you to tell me who voiced Mona Simpson for a long time, actually, by the way.
Stick with it, Weasel.
I feel like this is a layup. The most unfortunate thing about this question is that this episode is not available on Disney Plus. I don't know if that's a hint, but I recently convinced my wife that The Simpsons was amazing, and she's been watching it nonstop ever since, and she's never seen this episode, which is a shame because it's an all-timer. And this is a picture of Sophie Krostowski. Obviously, we're talking about Krusty's daughter here.
Obviously.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at the picture, I mean, this is actually the one that led me to think of this round theme. I don't know why this always sticks out in my head. I don't even really like that episode that much. This is one of the good. This is kind of when the Simpsons were hitting their lull, but this episode was really good. And this is Meat Hook the Biker. And I feel as though the voice fits this character perfectly.
This is an easy one.
Yeah, it is. And it's maybe not for if we have younger listeners or viewers, but I mean, all-time favorite guy. I don't even know what else to say about it. This is Larry Burns. A lot of estranged family members. I feel like they got a little bored in the writer's room there, and we're just like, what else can we throw in there? All right, this one's hard. This is from an episode where Lisa finds her rival. And her name is Allison Taylor, and it was crazy to me to find out who the voice of this was, because now, I mean, career's been a roller coaster up and down, but now she's back in the limelight.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, God. I love this. This is so much fun.
Smithers, what can we do next time that's going to get you so excited for trivia?
Fast and Furious.
Not yet.
Hell yeah.
June.
I can't wait for the picture round of that episode.
We should do Marvel soon. Marvel movies.
We should do Marvel.
When's Black Widow coming? End of May?
July now, I think.
We should do like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 or something.
But Loki's also coming out in June,
That's
so
true.
we could do it around Loki.
Yeah.
All right. Get those answers. Everyone's in already. All right, bye.
Nice. Well, this is sort of the sibling of the question we asked last time. Who's your favorite background character? I guess this is who represents you best. And Mark, obviously, in your case, it's
Ralph.
comic book guy.
Or Ralph.
I'll give you a little more credit than that.
Okay. Comic book guy.
I feel like you could grow a pretty sick ponytail.
Yeah, no, there's no way. My
Just like
hair
off
is
the
thinning
bat.
too much. Just receding. Actually, yeah, I could just let it recede and then keep it growing and just have I don't even know what hairstyle that is, where you just let a ponytail grow, but you're completely bald on top.
The skullet.
The skullet? Okay.
Yeah, it's a mullet.
I can do that.
Up here, it's the skull. Yeah. So, Mark, who do you think your spirit character is?
Well, I guess if it's not Ralph. What's the bully's name?
Nelson.
Nelson. I can be kind of a bully at times.
Yeah, you're a dick. I'll give you that.
I'm not as cool as Bart, but I did love to like skateboard growing up. But I wouldn't say I was as bold as he was. You know, I wouldn't get into as much trouble. I don't know.
You know, going back and watching now some of the pranks that Bart does and some of the straight up horrible things that Homer does.
Yeah.
It hits you different as an adult. You're like, God damn, he could have killed somebody. Or in some cases, he did kill somebody.
He drove drunk a lot, didn't he?
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
He still does. I'm kind of surprised that they let them get away with that.
They didn't tone that down a little bit.
Yeah.
Who would your spirit animal be? Spirit Simpson character, not spirit animal.
I feel like it
Smithers.
has to be like a mixture of characters. Like nobody is so extreme on one end or the other. You know, like you're a little bit Nelson, and you're a little bit. What did I tell you were? Comic book guy. Nelson and comic book guy. I'm a little bit grandpa because I'll just ramble, and then I'm a little bit Mo Sislak because I get really angry for no apparent reason.
Who would Joe be?
Someone super sarcastic. I'm actually going to kind of go with Edna Krabappel as one mixture, and then
Joe, do you smoke cigarettes? You gun cigs? Selma or Patty?
I mean, Edna guns cigs too.
That is true. I forgot. Principal Skinner, maybe?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because he's the one who's always trying to keep us in line.
Yeah.
I do need to tone down the sarcasm. All right, here we go. We are ready to roll with round 3. I'm just going to run through the answers. Actually, let's go back through the pictures. Why not? Why the hell not? All right, Smithers, you want to give these answers?
Sure. This is Lisa Kudrow, who I actually don't even like Friends, but I still think this is a good episode. That is Jim Varney, Ernest P. Worrell himself. That is another favorite of mine, Mr. Danny DeVito. Sir Patrick Stewart is number 1 of the Stonecutters. Mona Simpson is voiced by Glenn Close, and I'm amazed that how many times she came back to continue doing Simpsons episodes. This is Leon Kompowski, voiced by the King of Pop, Michael Jackson.
It's your birthday. Such a catchy song. Love it.
This is Sophie is voiced by Drew Barrymore, and I don't know why. This is always the first thing that pops into my head when I start thinking about guests on The Simpsons. Meat Hook is voiced by John Goodman, expertly, by the way. I don't know. I hope that we don't have anybody out there who's too young to know who Rodney Dangerfield is. But if you don't know, do yourself a favor and Google some of his stand-up bits.
I'm pretty sure just about everyone got this.
Okay, good.
Looks just like him.
He really does.
Did anyone get this answer?
I think just about everyone did as well.
Wow, okay.
This is a really good round, again.
Okay.
Are you guys cheating?
I have suspicions.
This is Allison Taylor, voiced by Winona Ryder.
I'm going to start tracking down your IP addresses and see what what you guys are doing.
Weasel says, except for me. All right.
Don't cheat. Don't be that guy or girl.
Here we go. In 4th place with 14 points is Weasel. In 3rd place with 22 points is Super Nintendo D's Nuts Chalmers. Tied, 3-way tie for 2nd place is the STS guys, Who Shot Who in the What Now, and Team Discovery Channel with 29 points each. And the Goggles Do Nothing continues with a perfect score.
I need to know who this person is. And
I know. I already have recorded the email addresses, and I'm like, we're going to find out who you are.
Well, I'm not accusing anyone of cheating. Anybody who knows that much about The Simpsons is somebody who I want to talk to.
You're going to get a special Discord invite tonight, whoever you are. All right.
I'll BRB.
General knowledge, we are going with round 4 here. Make sure you use the round 4 answer sheets.
I will say there is a theme to this as well. This is generally related to places you would find around Springfield or places that The Simpsons have ventured.
And guys, before we get into the questions, I'll just mention you heard us theorizing about some of our future trivias, but think about what you would like to see. We'll probably ask you at the end just for the hell of it. And that's kind of how the Simpsons one came about. So
I could absolutely do Futurama. I'm just saying.
I would love a Futurama one, actually.
Futurama fan? Okay.
Oddly. Yeah.
Nothing odd about that. It's one of the most intelligently written shows I've ever seen.
I fell in love with that show in grad school. And it was what got me through my first year of grad school.
Was it just like Comedy Central reruns, or
it's exactly what it was, and it was just mindless entertainment. And it
canceled twice. Still keeps coming back. Can't kill it.
All right, here we go. We're going to get into round 4 questions. General knowledge, question 1. What is the name of the local comic book shop run by Mark? I mean, the comic book guy.
He's kind of got a hairline going back, too. He's got a little bit of that skullet going on.
I think I have more of his build, though, than anyone here, so I'll rock that.
I love the way he waddles.
If I had a nickel. Question number 2. Local realtor Cookie Kwan is number 1 in which part of town? Local realtor Cookie Kwan is number 1 in which part of town?
Can't say anything because I'll give it away.
I just almost did. I almost made a comment. Name the local minor league baseball team that plays in Duff Stadium. Name the local minor league baseball team that plays in Duff Stadium. Fun fact, I live right next to a minor league baseball stadium now where the Lancaster Barnstormers play.
Sure.
So $5 ticket gets you into really good craft beer, actually.
Minor league games are so much fun.
They are.
And the stadiums are usually pretty nice. Like, they're nicely kept.
Quick side note is that Bryce Harper's brother played for them. I don't know if he still does. This was like pre-pandemic. And he got injured, and they were like building their whole season around them. And Bryce Harper came back once, and it like overshadowed everything.
Oof.
In season 6, residents of which neighboring town steal Springfield's prized lemon tree?
Look at those puckered lips.
In season 6, residents of which neighboring town steals Springfield's prized lemon tree?
I had so much fun, just like when I was looking at these questions, thinking of like the perfect image to put behind it. Some of them were already done, but I had to throw in some.
Question number 5. What is the name of Ned Flanders' specialty shop in the local mall? What is the name of Ned Flanders' specialty shop in the local mall? I'm going to throw out another suggestion for a future trivia because my parents' neighbor just texted me about it, that she started watching Schitt's Creek and she thinks it's absolutely hilarious.
I will absolutely. I'm in.
That would be a fun one. Question number 6. What is the name of the music shop adjacent to Moe's Tavern? What is the name of the music shop adjacent to Moe's Tavern?
Joe, I am 1 episode away from finishing Schitt's Creek, and I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry.
They do it very well. They handle everything really well in that show.
Anyways, back to The Simpsons. You can see the silhouette of the music teacher there, Dewey Largo. I don't know if you...
Oh, yeah, Dewey Largo, of course. Question number 7. In season 9, Homer vows to scale Springfield's highest peak with the help of the awesome power of apples in Power Sauce bars. What is the name of that mountain? In season 9, Homer vows to scale Springfield's highest peak with the help of the awesome power of apples in Power Sauce bars. What is the name of that mountain? Question number 8. In season 4, the Simpsons are... This is a hilarious picture. In season 4, the Simpsons are almost murdered by animatronic robots at which theme park? In season 4, the Simpsons are almost murdered by animatronic robots at which theme park? Not going to watch The Simpsons tonight. Question number 9.
Fall asleep to it. It's perfect.
In the first episode of season 9, Barney Gumble borrows Homer's car, after being dubbed the designated driver and losing his mind. What city do the Simpsons travel to in order to retrieve the car? In the first episode of season 9, Barney Gumble borrows Homer's car after being dubbed the designated driver and losing his mind. What city do the Simpsons travel to in order to retrieve the car? And the final question for tonight. What is the name of the local donut shop frequented by Springfield police? What is the name of the local donut shop frequented by Springfield police?
So based on the answers, the number of correct answers you've been getting, I'm guessing that a lot of people here have been to Universal Studios and been to Little Springfield. If you ever go there, get the giant pink donut. It's the best donut I've ever had in my life.
It is really good.
It was incredible, and I thought it was just going to be like pure sugar and awful, but it was so good. We bought one. We were like, oh, this is cute. We'll eat it, whatever. We went back and got another one because it was so good.
What was the best part? The pink frosting on top, or was it just soft and moist?
Honestly, dude, it's just I don't know what it's not like a regular donut. I don't know what they did, but it's so moist and it's so good.
But it also, chat can confirm. He said
It also was pure sugar.
Yeah, totally.
But it doesn't taste that. You're right. Like, it actually tastes good, not like just shit sugar thrown into a baked item.
And Larry, it sounds like there's a few people. Larry, the STS guys, had it too. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm missing out.
It's a really affordable trip for the family, Mark. Highly recommend Orlando.
Affordable.
Just make Nolan go when he's not going to remember, like next year.
I've already had that argument with my wife.
But it's for me. Best Treehouse of Horror sketch. Smithers.
I know what my favorite is, but I'm interested to hear if you have a favorite.
Okay, so you're going to hate me for this too, but
no. The thing about this is I know what a nerd I am about it, but I also don't expect other people to be as big of a nerd about it.
Well, it took me a while to catch on to them just doing parodies of, horror movies. I didn't understand that growing up. When I saw these, they were on at Halloween especially, and I just thought they were their own thing. But now looking back at all the movies that they parodied, you appreciate them a lot more, especially because now I'm watching a lot more of those movies, So like The Shining, for example, I didn't watch till 2 years ago.
We were about to go see Dr. Sleep, and I was like, oh, yeah, the Simpsons episode where they do The Shining, and I made you sit down and watch the parody.
That one was really good. I thought that one was hilarious, what they did with that.
It's good. My favorite is probably Homer selling his soul for a donut or Homer time traveling.
What would the time travel one be?
So, what do you mean?
What was it parodying?
It wasn't really parodying anything. It was not all of them are parodies.
Oh, okay.
They did do kind of a Smart House parody though. Do you remember that Pierce Brosnan was the voice?
Yep.
Oh shit! I should have just thrown in a picture of the house and said who was the voice of this character. It would have been Pierce Brosnan. Anyways, they've more recently, if you're talking about parodies, they did one of A Clockwork Orange, which is pretty funny. It centers around Mo as your main character, but the rest of the barflies are there. I still think Homer selling his soul for a donut's got to be my favorite.
I'm trying to find the Clockwork Orange one. What number was that?
I mean, I should know that, but I don't.
Later on?
It was definitely post season 20.
Space Odyssey was 12. Huh. Don't see it.
Brian in the chat talking about the one with Hugo is the evil twin. There was also the Fly episode. That's a great parody episode when Homer gets in the Bart gets in the teleporter at the same time as they fly, and he becomes half fly, half boy. Great episode.
Was Hugo was Bart's evil twin?
Bart was born as a conjoined twin.
I remember that one.
Dr. Hibbert separates them. And all along they thought that Bart was the less evil twin, but obviously they see him and they're like, oh, wait, whoops.
Yeah. I know there's one that's like genuinely scary. I'm trying to think of it. Says Weasel in the chat.
I think it might be the second Treehouse of Horror episode when James Earl Jones narrates The Raven, which is basically Bart as a raven who is tormenting Homer, and Homer is reciting.
The Raven's the first one.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like perfectly reciting Edgar Allan Poe, and it's Homer in his dumb Homer voice.
When did they introduce the aliens?
Season 2, I think. I think really? The first time they show up is the first Treehouse of Horror, and that was in season 2.
All right. Round 4 answers. Question 1, what is the name of the local comic book shop? That's the Android's Dungeon. Number 2, local realtor Cookie Kwan is number 1 in which part of town? That's the west side. Number 3, name the local minor league baseball team that plays in Duff Stadium. That's the Springfield Isotopes. Season 6, which neighboring town steals Springfield's prized lemon tree? That's Shelbyville. What is the name of Ned Flanders' specialty shop in the local mall? That's the Leftorium. What is the name of the music shop adjacent to Moe's Tavern? That's King Toots. Toots.
Toots.
Music
It's
store.
King Toots. Say
King
it.
Toots.
Toots.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. Please, I won't let it happen again. In season 9, Homer vows to scale Springfield's highest peak. What's the name of that mountain? It is the Murderhorn. In season 4, the Simpsons are almost murdered by animatronic robots at Itchy and Scratchy Land. In the first episode of season 9, this is question 9, Barney Gumble borrows Homer's car. What city do the Simpsons travel to in order to retrieve the car? That's New York City. And for question number 10, what is the name of the local donut shop frequented by the Springfield police? That is Lard Lad Donuts.
There you go.
All right. After 4 rounds, we have the following. In 4th place with 22 points, Weasel. In 3rd place with 28 points, Nintendo's Nuts, Chalmers. Said it right the first 3 rounds, fucked it up the 4th. Tied for 2nd place, 3-way tie, is going to be the STS guys. Who shot who in the What Now and Team Discovery Channel each missed 1 question. And in 1st place, the Goggles Do Nothing with 40 points, a perfect game.
Wow. I obviously should have made this more difficult. I feel shamed. I honestly, I've spent the last 10 minutes thinking of tiebreaker questions, which means that I could probably just crank out another 40 questions right now. I'm impressed.
I say we get you on a Zoom call with the Goggles Do Nothing and make sure that he actually knows his Simpsons stuff.
I have a feeling that it's real. That's kind of it's maybe not that deep of a cut to have that name, but it clearly shows that you know your Simpsons.
Yeah.
And congratulations on a perfect score.
That is incredible.
Great job.
You're as big of a nerd as I am.
Well,
I mean,
he probably is.
There's data to back it up, so I think we should definitely do Futurama down the line. I'm not saying next time, but put that one in the hopper.
That would be a fun one to do.
All right.
I said hopper. Maybe Stranger Things would be a good one.
So the Goggles Do Nothing. Go ahead and you can message either the Chumpcast on Instagram or Guy at the Movies on Instagram, or I guess you could email us.
Tweet at the Chumpcast.
We just need to know where to ship your prize. So we'll need an address from you, but just try to follow up with us afterwards, and we'll get you that prize. Congrats again.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, it was great for me. I don't care about you guys, but
yeah, and everyone else that played, thank you for participating. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to both of our YouTube channels here, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Hopefully, we're thinking maybe Marvel. I don't know. We'll talk about it a little bit, but we're going to be doing this in 2 weeks, same time.
All right, guys, it was fun.
Great time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Peace.
I'm just going to keep scrolling through Frankie Ack.